But enough about our offseason. Let's get into the NBA offseason. And I think no team had a bigger offseason this year, this summer, than the Houston Rockets. We added Will. They added KD, right?
Not just KD. Another huge addition with Dorian Finney-Smith as well, rounding out the depth with that team overall. But obviously the big main star of the whole thing, you get Kevin Durant, man. It's a different feeling in the building.
As Raphael Stone said, the biggest reason for trading for Kevin Durant, he's Kevin Durant, right? Isaiah, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think first and foremost, obviously, adding a guy who's 25 a game, 27 a game, but he's been 25 a game, the last 15 straight seasons?
Whole career, right?
Yeah,
Outside the
whole
regular
career.
season.
He's been above 50% from the field 13
Something
in a row.
like that.
Yeah, it's 50, 40, 90 for like multiple years.
Yeah, so adding that guy to a team where it's very clear that you already have like a really strong floor with the defense and offensive rebounding, and you kind of just need like a consistent like scoring option on a day-to-day basis. I think that's huge. I think the biggest thing too also is you didn't really sacrifice any identity by doing it, obviously, because the trade in the trade you gave up your two worst rebounders in your lineup and your two worst defenders in your two of the worst defenders impact wise in the lineup, right? And then you added two guys who are really good rim protectors and who are really good offensive rebounders. So you keep the whole theme of size and rebounding and defense, and then you also added a elite scorer.
Yeah, honestly, I think his name is Easy Money Sniper for a reason. And then for a team that we saw in the playoffs really, really struggle in the half court with the lack of perimeter creation, you saw them really struggling to just find consistent offense, honestly. If it wasn't outside of a Şengün post up, hoping Amin Thompson gets downhill, really just struggled to create consistent offense. And no slight to Jalen Green, but you go from Jalen Green's inconsistencies to arguably the greatest scorer
The most
basketball has ever
consistent scorer.
seen, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. And with the addition of Dorian Finney-Smith, a 40% three-point shooter, and let's not forget, man, welcome home to Clint Capela.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that
Yeah.
team went into the luxury tax for him.
Before Clint Capela, though, important note of maintaining the identity of the Rockets, I think re-signing Steven Adams,
we
arguably
skipped over
more than getting KD, is integral to like them making sure. I'm saying them, us making sure that like they have the identity of offensive rebounding. Because if we're being so honest,
That
the
was a
big
huge
reason. He had statistically the greatest offensive rebounding season of all time last year.
Yeah.
Like to say he was a monster on the boards is literally an understatement.
Yep.
And I think him coming back under the MLE on a 13 mil a year contract that allows us to go out, get guys like DFS, get guys like Capela. I think easily the biggest move of the year, even more than getting KD.
That's a hot take. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know. That's a real hot take.
I'll say on the KD front, I think Dre was really spot on with how you were able to bring in someone who, like, better than pretty much anybody else you could have acquired on the market, addressed your biggest weakness that you had, especially like in the playoffs. Was you look at the Rockets, and each game we lost, I think it was like single digits, right?
Yeah.
Like it was, I think the
Outside of
largest.
Game
I
7.
think the largest margin of defeat was like
Game 7 and Game 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not
Yeah.
much. So you throw in, I mean, you make 2 more threes, 2 more free throws,
Mm-hmm.
you probably win that series.
Emphasis on free throws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know it's gonna sound, I guess, kind of copish because we are Rockets fans, but I do look at it like if the Rockets were able to get past Golden State, 'cause I think if you add Kevin Durant onto this team, I do think we dismantled Golden State in like 5, maybe 6 games at the most. You get past Golden State, I don't look at the Timberwolves and say that's a team that will, give us a run for our money. I say we're in the conference finals against OKC, and they're a great team. I'm not going to sit here and say we would beat them because respect the champions, but to say we could compete with OKC, I think we could.
It's a puncher's chance.
Yeah, I think you definitely could compete with them, and
Especially
so,
with how the team is built, and you saw some of the weaknesses that OKC had. They tried the double big lineup out with Hardenstein and Chet, but they double big and are double big.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
and you add to that double big a guy in Kevin Durant who is a rebounder still, is a defender, and you're giving him less defensive responsibility, less rebounding responsibility. We talked about this off air, but like this is the first time he's really not playing center.
in
Like
like,
you really
yeah,
think about
bro,
it.
in a while.
since,
In like
since
half
he
a
left
decade almost.
OKC.
Yeah.
No, it's been since he left OKC.
Yeah.
I also think that's
Yeah.
a big reason why Minnesota was off his list.
Yeah.
Because
They had to trade Rudy
they would have had
Gobert.
to trade Rudy Gobert to get KD, and like I think KD's looking at the
Nas Reed,
situation, he's
full-time
like,
center hoops, man.
yeah, like I don't want to play
But that's a
center with
6'11"
Nas Reed
shooting
back
guard, dude. Let's be
there.
honest.
But-
Speaking of
I was gonna say,
I
go.
was like, speaking of shooting guards, I will say it is interesting that Raphael Stone and Ime Udoka basically said death to all non-point guards, non-wings,
Yep.
and non-centers. They have a team of 6'7" and taller dudes and 2 small guards in Reed Shepard and Fred VanVleet. And shout out to Reed Shepard. We're about to see what he does tonight in Summer League as we're recording this. It's gonna be a lot of pressure on that guy's shoulders.
Yeah.
A
Yep.
ton of pressure for him to step up. Stone said it in that press conference. We need Reed to be good.
Yeah.
It's not a if, it's not a maybe. We need him to be good. And I'm expecting him to step up. Obviously, it's more expectation in terms of what you expect from him. He didn't have the rookie season. I think most people expected to have a number 3 pick. Obviously, rookie guard on a team that was ready to compete. You don't just throw that guy out to the wolves, but you expect him to be a producer this year. And at times, man, like you should look better than Fred VanVleet on nights. You should
Yeah,
look
for
ready
sure.
to command an offense and really run a second unit at times, run those units with the man, with KD. Because that's really the only question mark I have for the Rockets going into next season is genuinely where does that ball handling come from? Because you don't want it to be a thing which I think KD's probably been upset about the last couple of years where, shoot, it's me and Book running point guard.
Yeah.
KD and Kyrie and Harden are out. I'm kind of bringing the ball up every
Big
single
point
time, looking at
guard.
LaMarcus Aldridge like, what are we doing? So I think that'll be a one key swing for the Rockets, just trying to find that second real or third in that case after Fred, third real perimeter creator.
But see,
Yeah.
I don't
I don't think that what we're going to ask Reed Shepard to do next year is something that's just like unreasonable or like out there on possibilities. I think the Rockets drafted him number 3 overall for a reason. They were obviously very, very high on him when they took him last year. And, like Dre said, he came into a situation where he was it's hard to impact the game on a team that's trying to win as an undersized rookie guard. But he now has that first year of NBA experience under his belt. And we saw how he looked a little bit towards the end of the season. Now, mind you, it was like March hoops, but we saw how he looked those last couple of games in the season when he was starting when the Rockets trying to load manage. And he looked really good.
Yep.
And so, I'm talking about a guy who has to come in and 15, 18 minutes a night be the backup point guard. I feel like if we don't have the faith that he could do that,
Yeah.
in year 2, we shouldn't have drafted number 3 overall. So I believe in him. I think he can
Yeah.
do it.